Hi, 5N Meth. So I was really sorry to not meet with you guys yesterday because of the power outage, and we're not going to get another chance to be together. And I just wanted to tell you how much I enjoyed teaching you, and I feel like we had our own little clubhouse down there in the flex space, and so I just have good memories of working with you guys. I love the projects that we did. Do you remember doing the Powers of 10 project with the water and the measurement and measuring outside and all that stuff? That was really fun. And then we did the park project where you figure out the area of the different places in your parks, and the road trip project. Yeah, those are the ones that kind of come to mind right away. But I also have fond memories of me struggling with the technology, and you guys were so patient, and I just wanted to thank you for that. I'm still struggling, if it makes you feel any better, but not as much. Anyway, I'm going to miss you guys, and I wish you all a great summer. And I look forward to seeing you in the halls in September, I hope. At least that's the plan at the moment. But yeah, so anyway, what's going to follow my little talk here is I recorded how to solve the problems 17 through 25 on the assessments. So, take a look at your own assessments and see if you came up with the right answers, and, skip through the ones that you don't need to look at. And if you do, if you got mixed up on some of the problems on your assessment and you want to practice some of those kinds of problems over the summer, I think it'd be a great idea. Otherwise, anyway, just wanted to say goodbye and have a great summer. Okay, bye. Okay, hi guys. So I'm trying something new today. I'm gonna try to video record the answers to each of the problems from the assessment from last week. So this was one where we left off the other day on Tuesday. So here's the problem. It says, for math lessons, Ms. McHugh allows 2/3 of an hour per day, okay, for each grade, 2nd through 5th. So it'll be 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, right? So the question is, how much time over 4 days does she spend preparing lessons? All right, so it looks like what we have to do is figure out how much time is 2/3 of an hour. So I'm going to kind of move this away for a minute. I'll slide this up. I'm going to zoom back here a little bit. All right, so there's our problem. And what I did is I sort of set it up this way so we can see. There's a couple ways we can do this. So if we have 2/3 of an hour for each day, for each grade, so she'd spend 2/3 of an hour for 3rd, 2/3 of an hour for 4th, and 2/3 of an hour for 5th. So we can add all of these up. And so if you have 2/3, when you're adding thirds and there's the same denominator, you can just add up the numerators. So 2, 4, 6, 8, so 8/3, right? So you have 8/3 per day that she spends, 8/3 of an hour she spends each day for doing her lessons. But 8/3 is improper fraction, so we have to convert that, and we say, I like to say 3 goes into 8, so you can do it. I'm trying my best here. So 3 goes twice, 2/3 is 6, and you're left with 2. So you have 2 2/3 hours of lessons. Okay, this is each day per day. Okay, and so now we have to do 4 of these, right? Because there is 4 days. Now we could also say, if you weren't sure how much time was 2/3, we could look at our clock up here and say, well, if this is a clock, I kind of mark this off as, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 9, 12 here. This would be 3. Okay, so 2/3 of an hour, we'd have to divide this into equal parts. And if you look at the equal parts, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Of course, it's 12, right? So what's 1/3 of 12? It would be 4. So we have basically, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here. So each 2/3 of an hour, so there's 1/3 and 2/3, it's a total of 40 minutes. So you could say there's 40 minutes here, 40, 40 minutes, and 40 minutes. So 4 times 4, 16, so it'll be 160 minutes, right? So you could say, well, it's 160 minutes in all. So how many hours is that? Well, we'd have to divide that by groups of 60. So we have how many groups of 60 going to 160? Well, 2 groups is 120. So it's probably 2, and that's 120. We're left with 40 here. Okay, we can bring down, we can either do a decimal point here, add another 0. Let's see, is that right? Yep. Okay. So we can bring the 0 down here. Put a 0 there. 60 into 40, we could do, it's about 6. Because I know 6 times 6 is 36, that's 360. And we're left with 40 again. Add another 0, bring down the 0, 6. Again, this is going to be 6. Okay, so it's 2.66 hours for each day. So you could go that route, or you could simply come back here and say, well, if I know there's 2 2/3 hours for each day here, why don't I do that 4 times? And we can certainly do that. So let's do that, okay? So we have 2 2/3. Okay, and you could add them up straight across or down, either which way is fine. Let's go this way, 2 2/3, 2 2/3, and 2 2/3. And if you add these all up, again, we're all dealing with all thirds, so we have 2, 4, 6, 8/3 down here, and 2, 4, 6, 8 hours here. So we have 8 hours and 8/3. So we're going to have to convert this 8/3 into a mixed number. So again, I know that this is going to be 2 2/3 because 3 goes into 8 2 times with 2 left over. So this is the same as 2 2/3 and plus your 8 for a total of 10 2/3 hours. Okay, and if you wrote that, you get the right answer. Okay, so number 18 we see is an order of operations problem. So remember that with order of operations, we need to use the acronym PEMDAS, PEMDAS. Whereas P stands for parentheses, E stands for exponents like 5 to the 2nd power. M, of course, is multiplication, D is division, A is addition, and S is subtraction. In this order from left to right. So if we look at our problem, we say, which do we do first? Well, we have to do what's over in parentheses. So 8 minus 5, we're going to rewrite this, is 3. And we'll put that in parentheses, and then we'll finish out the problem. So we have 19 minus 3 over here. Now, at this point, we have to say, well, are we going to do our subtraction problem first, 19 minus 3, which would be 16, or are we going to multiply 3 times 3? And we have to look here, which comes first. You do a multiplication or a subtraction. Obviously, it's multiplication, so we have to do this first. Anytime you have a number next to another number that's in parentheses, it means multiply. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 3 first, and that's 9. And then I have my original 19. And 19 minus 9 equals 10. And that's my answer to number 18. Okay, so a couple of you missed this one, which was number 19. It's 18 is 60% of what number? And again, when you get these percentages problems, you want to decode them. First of all, we know that is means equal. So 18 is equal to 60% of, which we know is a multiplication sign of some number. We don't know what it is, right? So we know that when we write 60% as a decimal, it's the same as writing it this way. 18 is 0.60. And and we don't know what the number is, so we know we'll just put a letter, let's say is some number. So let's call it n. Okay? So 18 equals 0.60 times n. Well, to get n by itself, you have to divide both sides by 0.60. 0.60. Okay, and that will leave the number by itself. So let's go to the next step, and we say, well, what is 60? What is 18 divided by 60? So let's do it. So 18, we're going to divide it by 0.60. Okay, so let's move the decimal point over 1, 2. So we have a full range of 60, and we have to go over 1, 2 here. Okay, so let me make this a little simpler for us. So we have 60 into 1800. Okay, so how many groups of 60 can we get out of 180? Well, we can get 3, right? 6 times 3 is 18, so we'll do 3, 180. And we'll subtract that. Of course, it's 0. We'll bring down the 0, the next digit down, right? And we say, ask ourselves how many groups of 60 in 0? Well, there's none. So 0 times 60 is 0. Subtract that away, and we're left. That's it. We're done. So it would be, the answer would be 30. Okay? So 18 is 60% of 30. Okay? Okay, here's another order of operations problem. Again, remember that we have PEMDAS, PEMDAS. Remember that the multiplication division could be switched around. It could be PEDM if the division comes before the multiplication, and it could be PEMDSA if the subtraction problem comes before the addition. So first thing we know, do we have any parentheses? No. Do we have any exponents? Yes. So let's go 8 plus 3 times 5 to the second means 5 times 5, which is 25. So that's the same as 25. It does not mean 10. Okay? So now what do? We go back to our sign. Again, we're going to say, which comes first? Do I add these or do I multiply these first? Well, let's go. We have parentheses, exponents. Multiplication comes before addition. So let's do the multiplication first. So 3 times 25 is 75. Right? And then we would do our addition. So 75 plus 8 would be 83, and that's the answer. Okay?